yeah, one step forward, two back, kind of a kick in the stomach. In this video, we're going to make the engine go from this
to this.
So you better keep watching. So if you haven't watched any of our previous episodes, we're rebuilding a Renault 5 GT Turbo. This is a C1J engine. We have had it acid dipped and resprayed it into this black. New liners, new pistons, all on other videos that you're more than welcome to go and watch. And in the last episode, we also built the head. So that's already done. So today we are going to be putting in the piper cam, or the cam there. We're also going to sort out the timing. Now, the timing scares me slightly. The last thing I want to do is spend all this time, which I have spent some serious amount of time on this engine already. Start out the first time here, an explosion from underneath the bonnet. It's not what I want. So I've called in reinforcements. Right, I can start this on my own now, hopefully.
It was a bit of an anticlimax really. It was just slotting into the side of the engine and doing up a couple of bolts. And then we fitted the original pulley to work out where top dead centre was.
Try my best here to work out where top dead centre is. Top dead centre is basically when your piston's right at the top. So when you're trying to do the timing, you've got to ensure that you actually know where top dead centre is to make sure you get the timing correctly. Got a little gauge here. As you turn it, you can actually see that this little thing goes down and it tells you that it's no longer being touched. So if you just keep going, you actually see the piston going back up. Here we go. You'll see it spin. Okay. As we get closer and closer and closer to the top, you actually see it hit 0, and you know you're bang at the top. So that's top dead centre. As the piston goes up, it will pause at the top slightly for a very short amount of time, and it will drop. Okay, and I think that it's about 2 degrees. Slightly nervous now. I'm going to put the head on this. Before I put the head on, I'm going to put the followers in. So the followers actually go down these holes here. Okay, so if you have a look down there, there we go, there's your cam. So as the cam rises, the followers will lift, and then they'll push the push rods. Hey, I am learning. Right, time to put the followers in first, and then put the head on. I thought these bags were a really clever idea until I have assembly paste and sticky hands, and then can't do anything. So I'm going to have to take them out. Time to put the head on top of the block. First thing you've got to do though, is put the gasket in place. Conveniently, it tells you which one's the top. But at the same time, if you actually pop it on, you'll find there's an obvious. It's pretty obvious you got it right. Right, and then head on. And then you've got to tighten these in a certain order. So the order, actually, according to the manual, is a certain order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This being the flywheel. So that is this end here. Right, I'm just going to go for it. Okay, done up all these bolts nice and lightly. Torque spec, according to the Haynes manual, is 44 foot-pound, 60 Newton meters. This is make or break, because as soon as you tighten this, your gasket is done. It's on. So if I've got this wrong, I'm buying a new gasket. What's money? Right. This is number 1. First one to be tightened. And you're waiting for a click. click. Done. And why do we do that? Why are we given an order? Basically to spread the load. If you go and tighten one end, all from one end to the other end, you just could cause some damage actually to the probably to the head, I would expect, because the block is steel, head's aluminium. So it's to spread the load. So there's a recommended order, going to follow the recommended order. Isn't that look good now though? Look, that is one good looking engine. I do say so myself. Wish I do. After all that working out how to find top dead center, I was reviewing some other YouTube channels, Ignition Advantage being one of the ones that is a bit of a go-to for myself. Really good descriptions how to do this sort of thing for the C1J. When I actually watched some of his videos, he very easily described how to ensure top dead center between your cam and your crank here. Looking for, here you've got a negative, down here you've got a positive. So if you've got both of these lined up, you're at top dead center. So what I'm going to do now is switch the pulley here for my vernier pulley, just so if I do need to make any adjustments in time in the future I can, because the vernier pulley is fully adjustable. So I'm going to switch this out. On the actual vernier pulley, you've also got a mark there, which I will ensure lines up with the negative here. So in the future, I'll just have to ensure that this mark there lines up with the positive there. Right, what I just said is not going to work. Let me explain why it's not going to work. So on the actual original one here, the original pulley here, you have a little join here, which means that this mark of the negative is obviously always going to be correct because you have the notch here which goes in there. On my actual vernier pulley here, it again has a nice mark there to ensure that it will sit exactly the same like that. But the thing is, this little notch here is in line, this notch here is actually in line with that notch there, which means that it will sit there to be incorrect. So what I'm going to need to do is on this one here is make a mark where the negative is in line with this. So I can take this off, put this on top of this, make a mark on here to ensure that I know where the negative mark is, and then it can fit on nicely. I do hope you understood that. A lot of messing about. I've managed it at long last, ensuring that there's a straight edge between the cross and my imaginary minus, which was this tooth here. So all good. I was slightly concerned. I really don't want to get the timing wrong, but that should be it. Okay, so the oil pump goes back in here where we took it out previously. I did actually strip down the oil pump and went through checking that the tolerances are correct. The actual Haynes manual was really quite poor with telling me what the tolerances were. However, I found a really good YouTube channel about a guy who's also building a Renault 5, quite old now. But what I'll do is I'll link it to it because he actually talks to you about the actual tolerances between it. I didn't really, to be honest, want to rip off that video. I thought it'd be far better for me just to link it. And thank you very much. I can't actually remember what the channel was called. Sunshine or Seaside. Anyway, thank you very much, chap. Really did help me out here. So I've put in the push rods. Didn't realise these 3 bolts need to go here. And now the rocker shaft assembly goes down, I guess to align it, because I couldn't get it to fit last time. So hopefully this will help sort it out a bit more.
A little bit of persuasion is all it took. Then add the bolts and do it all up.
Wish I wasn't making this video. Just had an errand around to check some of my workings. I'm sure that it's all been done right, because after all, I could easily have made some mistakes. Anyway, the rocker itself, here, I found one of the bolts was slipping whilst tightening, which means I had to take the head off. And I've got to get something called a helicoil to go into the head. So it's a step back, which isn't great. Also means that new gasket required. So slightly disheartened. However, these things happen, I guess. The only good thing is, meant that we could go back over, double checking the timing. Actually looks like I got it right, so I'm quite chuffed with that. But it means that, yeah, one step forward, two back, kind of a kick in the stomach. We will get there.